A new year is upon us, a new age is upon us, a new era is upon us, but rest assured, our bucket boys are just as awful as they have always been. Welcome, all my little internet friends, to Dungeon Fuckers. Oh, I see a lot of familiar names and faces. The State of Arizona, Jazia, Burning Paper Giant. Oh my god, thanks to everyone who tuned in to watch this live. Thanks to everyone who's watching this later on our YouTube page. Thanks to everyone for existing. We're back. Yes, it's Dungeon Fuckers, a live animated D&D show about low lives in a low fantasy world going on low stakes adventure. And it is finally time for chapter 2 of the most pathetic fantasy role-playing story ever told. I'm Tony, your dungeon master slash illustrator slash animator slash incredibly strong man. And with me, as always, yes, are my equally strong friends, Eli Uden, Carolyn Page, and Brian Miller. There they are. They're still cartoons.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah!
I haven't given them their human bodies back. And now you gotta look at these guys
One day
instead.
will be good enough.
I don't want
human
my
body
body.
my human body is fading away, wasting.
I don't want that. I don't want a body.
I think we can all agree that bodies are a terrible inconvenience and just terrible in general. Just grotesque necessities that we're shackled to.
Disgusting.
They break down.
Oh, fuck,
they
it's a
hurt.
hype train.
Oh yeah, here we go. Wow, boy, I missed all of you. I missed doing all this. I'm seeing Raven GR saying that this is their first time watching, but they loved Table Pop. Thank you so much. We're happy to still be making shows for you.
Hell yeah.
Hey, listen.
Legally distinct shows.
Completely different. Hey,
This
Table
one
Pop
is very far away.
did not
so-
have a single animation in it. Look, I know it's been a minute, so I kind of want to like recap everything and what we did in our last adventures. But before we do that, do you want to go around and introduce your characters, your weapons, your greatest fears, your turn-ons, etc., dating tape style? Why don't we start left to right? Gabo, why don't you tell us what's up with you?
Hey, my name is Gabert Maxwell. It's Gabo. I go by Gabo. My skills, I sort of, my skills and my weapon are the same, which is that it's a book I found. It's it's a spell book, a tome, if you will. So yeah, I pretty much just, I'm reading from that, and I'm doing some magic here and there, and pretty strong stuff, pretty good spells, very effective, very powerful stuff. So yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's most of me.
Thanks, Gabo. Touching as always. I felt my heart move with that revealing portrait of yourself.
Pretty emotional. So
Fim, Brian, why don't you give us a little taste of what's going on with Fim?
I'm Fim. I've been spending a lot of time really trying to come into my own, realize who I am as Fim. And who I am is a person who will not fail every single roll this time. I'm going to do a good job on this adventure. I swear it. And if not, it's going to be a sad day for Fim.
That is to be seen, my friend. I will believe it when I see it. Yak, what's going on, Carolyn?
My name is Rinka Yaxie, but you can call me Yak. Everyone does, but not a lot of people do, because I don't know very many people. But I'm starting to think that maybe there's a big world out there, and I don't have to make jokes about, fucking everyone's sister all the time. But maybe they could be friends instead. I don't know.
Those are also big words, and I would be really surprised if you make it through this whole stream without talking about fucking everybody's sister all the time.
That's
it is
fair.
about all you talk.
Yeah, I'm a sister fucker, but not my own. Yours. I'm like fucked up, but not that fucked up.
I just wouldn't have even brought it up. I just would have maybe moved on.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. There's new perspectives. Like maybe I can figure out what that's all about. But anyways, I would like to stab someone. If they cross us, I'll could stab them.
You might just get your chance, Yak. Speaking of new perspectives, let's look at old perspectives with a little flashback of our last adventure. Oh, that was perfect. Yeah. Imagine these pictures are moving and doing like a little soft bokeh in and out, which would really, really nice if I had the time to actually
that would have been a really nice effect.
In Mudburg, the least magical, least interesting, least livable of any place in any of the 5.5 realms, the Vice Junior Bucket Boys, Merd's turds, were caught a whiff of a big gusty wind. The wind of a rumor, and that rumor was that at the edge of town there was a goblin slain by Mudburg's not so humble hero, Butch Baggo. Fim, feeling the call of destiny, and I guess also Joseph Campbell and his cruddy little heart, formulated a plan to finally seize greatness. Poke that body with a stick. First, our bucket boys. Oh, there's Butch Baggo. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to read and change images at the same time, which, like, I'm trying to look at 2 different screens to do that. It's really sweet.
Gabbo's having a little seizure in that one.
I picked the most flattering stills I could find for everybody. It's amazing how expressive these animated portraits are for really only having...
It's hard I have a thing where it's hard for my eyes to both lubricate at the same time. So sometimes I gotta focus on one and make sure it's all lubed up, and then I can open the other one again. So...
Well, I'll tell you when Gabbo had both of his eyes open. It's when they were on the lookout for a poking stick. And first, they had to find a stick at the top of the one tree in town. But that is where they ran afoul of the already foul vertically stacked Farkman twins. But Gabbo Crocodile rolled them into oblivion and also into a gross pond. And having only wet themselves a little bit, the Bucketeers were able to claim their sticky reward, a stick. They went to poke that dead goblin body, only to realize it was not a dead body, and that they were going to be the dead bodies unless they acted like heroes right quick. Fim shat every proverbial bed he could find, leaving Gabbo and Yak to save the day, and save it they did with a lucky punch that sheared the little prune dongus straight off the goblin. Saved by their own peen-punching power, the friends were faced with 3 revelations. 1, that magic can and has come back to Mudburg. 2, town phony Butch Baggo doesn't have anything that they don't got. And 3, Fim is... definitely a weenie, just straight up a little weenie. It's embarrassing. Did I miss anything? Did I cover it all? Anyone notice any glaring omissions?
We took the penis back to the tavern, showed it to everybody, said, "Hey, look what we did."
There was some skepticism there, but I do recall Butch Baggo seeing the peen, recognizing it, and fear appearing behind his eyes as he realized that you encountered a not-so-dead goblin and know his truth, that he did not, in fact, defeat the goblin.
Yeah, that guy
he was the wuss, not Fim.
Well, Fim, no, you'll get him this time.
Yeah, I will.
I see Jazia is sharing a couple of our clips, the highlights from the last episode. Be sure to check those out afterwards to see some truly heroic moments. But for now, my cat Quinn is jumping onto my lap, and I'm going to take us to the next low-stakes, terrible little moment of adventure in Dungeon Puckers Chapter 2, The Blades of Baggo. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Whoa!
Wow.
We find ourselves now at the pants-crappening crescendo of the 1,000-year storm, where the gallant yet war-torn bucket boys are immersed in an ancient reign that has seen empires righteous and rotten rise, fall, and turn to black and bitter ash. Here the lightning is crackling and furious, it itself alive and hateful. But you have no time to heed this seething, deathless energy from beyond, because your enemy has returned. The dread priest Grisaeth, the unmaker of flesh and the child of the deep evil, has summoned you here for a final confrontation between existence and non-existence, or at least a version of existence where you and pretty much everything else worthwhile is dead as fucking shit. Beer, bongs, bonin, not very likely, Buster. Not if this guy has anything to say about it.
But I love boning.
We all love bonin, Yak, but this guy wants to take it away.
No!
No!
Luckily, we are steeled by the warlock Gobbo's mighty magics, and your faces remain thoroughly unmelted in the presence of this primordial tear, one whose very essence exudes decay, he who is more than death, that when he takes your life banishes you not to oblivion, but to an infinite shrieking black torment, where all you can do besides beg for non-existence is wish you never existed in the first place. It's honestly, it's just super fucked up. I'm going to need you all to roll for initiative.
Wow.
Oh,
This
boy.
is pretty. This really took a big step up. You know, maybe we gotta.
I think we're ready for it. Here we go!
I feel in between. I am unsure if we are ready for it or unready for it, but I got an 11.
I got a 15. Let's party!
I did a 3, a number 3.
Well, that's lucky for you, Gobbo, because the Dread Priest Grisaeth has rolled a 5, putting him second in order, and that gives you our first attack. Lucky for you, I believe that you are equipped with a new school of magic. Yes, Gobbo has pioneered the art of wastrelmancy and has powerful spells, including Fuck That Guy Up, which you're able to cast, as well as...
Oh, I didn't even know I learned that.
You don't remember
even
learning
know.
that? You must have been
No.
so busy studying that you didn't even bother to remember. So, Gobbo, it's your attack first. Feel free to invent any attack you want to do also, because honestly, I don't really care. Do whatever you want.
I mean, I assumed it, and this is off the record, that all my spells are still me throwing my book at the guy, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay, good. Back on the record. I'm gonna cast the spell known as Mordenkainen's projectile of weight, and gonna go ahead cast that. Do all the spell stuff. There's the words everybody's gotta know, right? You go with the turtle, turtle. And then part of the spell is I gotta throw my book at him. So yeah.
So go ahead and roll for me, Gobbo.
Okay, this is the attack roll, spell roll.
That's an attack roll. That is you rolling with... well, let me pull up a improper character sheet. This is an old character sheet. Everyone close your eyes. Don't look at this one. Yeah, you're going to be rolling for beefiness with that, which is a +1. So, yeah.
Oh, that's the same character sheet I'm looking at. That's dope.
No. It's an old one. I totally have new character sheets for the modern incarnations of your characters.
Okay, so and also I just want to say, people might be like, hey, if he's doing an attack roll, that seems like this is not a real spell because spells are mostly kind of other stuff, but that's not true.
This is a beefiness roll, yeah. This is a little bit of our proprietary system here with Dungeon Fuckers that's based on Dungeons and Dragons. As in, I once heard of Dungeons and Dragons, and then we made this up on the spot. But also, yeah, you're throwing that book. It's spell propelled by might.
Yes, and it's a pretty mighty. It's 18 plus the 1 for the beefiness. So that's a pretty good spell right there that I did.
That is a great roll. It is excellent against the opposing roll 12. I want you to roll a d6 for me for damage.
Just a single d6?
Just a single d6, because we're multiplying everything by 100, because, we're like in kind of JRPG realms right now where everything is just kind of, yeah.
I'm going to try to do 9999 damage.
You can do it, bud.
Like I'm the Knights of the Round, which is a reference I wouldn't understand. But I rolled it 1, so it's 1
Well,
damage.
it's 100 damage.
100 damage.
Let's face it, is pretty badass. But the Dread Priest Grisaeth is also pretty badass, and he is relatively unfazed as your book pings off his helmet, leaving a small but noticeable dent. He is mortal. He can be defeated, but
it does bleed.
It bleeds. It's gonna be his roll next, though, and I'm rolling to see who he attacks. Oh boy, he's coming after you, Yak. He doesn't seem to be bothered with his dent in his helmet. I want you to give me an opposing roll. The Dread Priest has rolled a 16. Roll a d20 for me.
I've rolled a 13.
Oh, so he's going to connect, and he is dealing 200 damage to Yak. A deadly
100
swing
damage.
with a nameless blade. It sinks deep into your flesh, but honestly, Yak, I think you've seen worse wounds than this. I don't think you're even phased.
Seeing them I have. This is nothing to me, Yak, the inevitable.
Yak the inevitable. Oh, I love that. Oh, it was only inevitable that you came up with that, I think. That is great. But I believe, Yak, if I have it right with our ordering, that's your attack next. If you want to return fire here.
I shall.
I can remind you that in your inventory, you have the...
Penis?
Not no. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, not the penis, but the name is close. You have the club of the big fucker in your inventory as a principal weapon to use. You also have the bow of the big fucker. Either which is a viable attack.
I shall, because he is so close upon me, I shall whip out the bow quickly and aim it straight at his heart. Well, below his heart chest, because it looks like there's a gem there protecting it.
Now, if you remember from our last 16 adventures, his heart is on the right side of his chest instead of the left, and is inside out, which we all know.
Yes,
Yeah.
I aim it there, lickety split with my lightning. As you see, through the lightning and the storm, I become one with the shadow, and as I whip out the blade, the bow, I'm almost too quick to see. I pull back an arrow and unleash it into his flesh.
Yeah, that's freaking sick. If I didn't have to make you roll, I wouldn't, but you got to roll for me.
Okay, I will. That's a 10.
That beats the Grisaith roll of 8. Roll a
you,
d6
Grisaith.
for me.
Oh, fuck your sister!
Oh, it only took like
We're
10
gonna
minutes
go
to get
past
there.
that, bud.
You already
That's a
did that.
6!
That's a
That's
six.
a fucking
That's
6!
600 damage. Oh, the arrow
damage.
sinks deep into his putrid chest. It spews out stuff every color except the colors you'd expect. I think probably like, I don't know, little maggots with the like kind of with the dune worm mouths, you know, like the gross anus mouths. They all pour out and they're screaming and they're like eating his nipples on the way down and stuff. It's gross.
Yeah, the nipple feeder magnet.
And it fully staggers him. For the first time in his glowing eternal eyes, you see he is scared.
Oh yeah.
Fim, take us home. What do you got? In
The
your
rain
inventory,
and wind is in my hair. I draw my cool ass sword.
it's
with,
called
like,
the Singing Blade of Kriya here. I have that.
Got
Of course
the
you
singing blade
remain.
of Kriya. I start sprinting through the rain. Eat this, bucket face! And
And you roll, presumably, something really high.
Fim rolls a hot 8.
I am not shitting you. The Dread Priest only rolled a 2. That's going to hit. Fuck
you!
Roll a d6 for me, please.
And we've got a 3. We'll take it.
Unbelievable! Oh my god, it sinks into his neck, severing his bucket head from his bucket shoulders. Oh, your eyes go wide, your sphincters go unclenched.
Even wider.
And against all reason and logic, Grisaith ceases to be. Your collective might plunges his infernal essence into nothingness, leaving only a fading shadow of despair. Light breaks through the clouds, and yes, perhaps you even sense on your greasy, blackhead-ridden noses that the ancient rain has finally relented. As the world around you turns into a soft fog, you hear a voice as soft as an unfucked-with flower petal. Perhaps it's the voice of Princess Drazil. It's a message. No, a prophecy. She says, "The sword! Get the sword!" Is this the birth of hope? Is this the new dawn? Is this a future for our Vice Junior Bucket Boys at last? Or is it a dream?
Oh, fuck!
The ringing of the
I
giant...
didn't pee.
We haven't rolled for that yet, fam. Wait your turn.
Everyone roll to see if you peed.
The ringing of the giant rat-clappered bell at the center of Mudburg gently and squishily brings you back to the waking world. Of course you're no trio of heroes. You're 3 20-year-olds who all have to share a bed in Fim's uncle's attic because you can't even hold down a job at the local town turd farm. But there's no time to get self-sorry now, because I need you to roll for me to see if Fim did in fact pee. If everyone wants to roll a d6. I want to see if you did anything embarrassing. All of you.
I probably jizzed in the night.
Oh, Jack, don't do that again. We gotta do the whole.
3.
Okay. You did not jizz in the night, thankfully.
Nice.
Before I tell you what I rolled, what would happen hypothetically if I rolled a 1?
You would piss the bed, Fim!
No!
Oh my god.
I didn't do it. It must have been Gobbo again.
Gobbo, what did you roll?
What if I also had rolled a 1?
All right, I'm going to have you do opposing rolls to see who takes the blame for the piss. Of course, 2 out of 3 people are going to know the truth. You're basically rolling for Yak's approval here, which, of course, is all we really care about. Gobbo?
I got a 4.
All right, Fim, convince Yak that it was Gobbo who pissed the bed in your spot.
Which one of you fucking pissed the bed?
Look, I mean, clearly, just look at where the wet spot is. It makes sense that Gobbo moved over here, pushed me out of the way, peed right on my spot. Because why would I pee on my own spot?
For your consideration, think about did Fim is always
Gobbo!
pee in the bed.
Gobbo, shut the fuck up, you nasty bed pisser. Oh,
Yeah.
get up. Oh, get up.
Where you
Both
guys
of you.
so-
Oh,
I have to
And
change
then-
my pants.
get up.
Jersey
Yeah,
and
get
the state of
Gobbo.
Arizona are both raising a really good question. They're not phrasing it as such, but I do want to know who is capable of pissing more? Just of the two of you. Not to get too nasty too quick, but I do got to know.
I mean, I think I'm bigger, but Fim pees more often, so it's better at it,
Fim, much like someone else he knows, only drinks Diet Coke and beer.
Oh, no. I don't know that we could confirm that
one of
Diet
you
Coke exists
pisses
within this
more-
world. Go ahead, Yak.
One of you pisses more and one of you pisses worse.
Yeah, I don't like the taste of water, so I don't drink a lot of water. So
That's probably a wise move in Mudburg, where I think it's all kind of reclaimed water that's pressed out of the mud. And let's be real, nobody wants that. It's probably safer to go with the beer or the Diet Coke. Coke in this situation, I'm sure we have a different spelling. It's more Byzantine and archaic and doesn't look anything like the Coca-Cola.
Koukei.
That sounds right to me. And as we've established before, no one in Mudburg can read or spell. So we can really just call it whatever we want. Now the state of Arizona and others are trying to dodge responsibility for this literal pissing contest. I won't let you off that easy. We have it on record. It's in the comments. You asked for it. Okay.
Aspirin freaks.
All right, team, let's get on with the day. You
I'd
move
like
downstairs to find...
Before we move
Oh, yeah.
downstairs, I'd like to.
Yak rolls out of bed and does. I want to see how many push-ups I do.
Okay.
I feel like I can become a real hero. I've had one little taste of success.
Roll a d4 for me.
Okay. Let me get a d4 here. There we go. That's a 1. I
You do
rolled a
one
1.
push-up.
Oh,
Describe it.
oh,
You got it, bud.
it's shaky on the way down and it's shaky on the way up. And then I do a cool karate kick. And then I yank the blanket off the bed and say, "You pissers, get up."
All right, with a piss-soaked blanket in your hand, you head downstairs to find a giant bald spot with a man living somewhere beneath it. This is Fim's own Uncle Sandy, strong in halitosis and weak in everything else. Sandy's a gold medal figure skater on the line between being a kind soul and being kind of a feckless doormat. Rise and shine, sleepyheads! It's almost 5 a.m. You've been sleeping the day away while the rest of us have been up dreading the relentless and unceasing banality of existence.
Well,
You're
first
right.
off, I just want to nip this in the bud. We did piss the bed. We did piss the bed again.
Not all of us pissed the bed. Some of us got up.
We
and
all
did
pissed the bed
exercise.
together.
Statistically, most of us pissed the bed.
Uncle Sandy's quite
So,
used to this.
round up.
It's really not a shock to him, and he's holding his hand out for the sheet and ready to toss it into basically just a giant wash bin of other pissed-on sheets from throughout the week. He's
Yeah.
really not surprised. And as you're all kind of going down the line, handing him your piss-soaked garments, he stops Gabo. Gabo, I don't know what Fim and Yak told you about paying rent, but really, I can't accept your money. I know that you're the only one who didn't lose your jobs at Merds, and I know that you're a man whose pride is as great as your soul patch. So I'll tell you what. Instead of giving me your tin coin that you got us pay for the week, I'm going to give you the opportunity to buy something from my shop. So here's what I have for sale. I have a sharp rock.
I've never bought anything before. This is exciting.
You anticipate that this sharp rock could be tied to your book to deal 1 extra D4 of damage.
That's nice.
I have some extra pages for your book. These extra pages could be used as a backup or a failsafe if you were to throw your book as a spell casting and the pages just burst out of the book, which, as we'll remember, is a consequence of trying to throw the book. And lastly,
Part of the spell.
but not least, I have a head of delicious rat cabbage, fresh in from the farm. I have no comment on that one. It's a head of rat cabbage.
Rat cabbage. Oh, that's good stuff. That's a Christmas.
Yeah, I don't
special.
know if I
you
can
know-
turn
yeah,
that
you know
down.
this
That's a
type of
pretty
stuff.
good
Come on,
looking
man.
piece of rat cabbage there. You know,
There's literally no nutritional value, guys.
I've heard actually, if you eat rat cabbage, it takes more calories to burn it than
yeah,
you
it's
get from
mostly
eating it.
water and rats in there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I might have to go with the rat cabbage. That's just good looking.
No.
All right. The rat cabbage it is. It is now in your inventory. Gabo, you have 1 rat cabbage in your inventory. Before we head off for the day, does anyone have anything else with Uncle Sandy? No. Okay. Well, Uncle Sandy, I think has something for you, Fem. As you're heading out, he stops you. Gabo and Yak are still within earshot as they walk out the front door, ready to greet the day. And he says, "Now, Fem, listen, I know you've been really upset recently about not being the special boy, but not everyone can be the special boy. Just extra special boys who live far away from here, where they do special things all day. And I know you wanted me to say that your dad was a special boy, all grown up into a special man, but you don't need to worry about all that because you're already special to me. Your Uncle Sandy. I kind of hope that I'm something of an aspirational figure for you. Maybe one day you could wind up like me, a man who lives in a house somehow built under a freeway underpass, which is it's kind of surprising, honestly. 'Cause, I mean, they really could have built it anywhere, but they chose right here. They almost had to elevate the road on top of the house and just drop it right on top.
Quite a move. Yeah. Wow.
They said they didn't notice your house. That was
It's
just kind of went over there.
this. Well, Uncle Sandy, yeah, it does look like this is a potential future for me if I do not alter my path in any way. Oh boy. Oh
It's
boy.
not so bad. Fam, we got plenty of rat cabbage. Well, mostly just the one
Oh, that's
head.
good.
As Uncle Fim tries to beckon you back in to help build your future as a shopkeeper who lives beneath a freeway underpass, you walk out the door thinking about this weird collective dream that you've all shared without realizing that you've shared it, and you can feel that today is different. Does anyone know why today is different?
No.
It's
Is it
somebody's birthday.
Is it my birthday?
Is it my
his
birthday?
birthday? Is it any of our birthdays?
Do we all have the same birthday?
I'm
I know we have the same bet. Do we have the same birthday?
I'm not going to say no to that, but I'm going to say conclusively right now that none of you know when your birthday is. You can make a guess, and I'm happy to honor that, but it is decidedly not your birthday in a quantifiable way. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wronger. Today is different because the mayor is giving Butch Baggo, town hero, and more importantly, fraud the key to the city
Liar.
for defeating the goblin horde.
Ah.
This is
Dark key to the city.
literally a key that will open any door in town, letting Baggo walk in and take whatever he wants free of charge, or probably do pervy things too, and knowing him, he probably will. Well,
Yeah, he
But
better
also,
come
it
piss
could
in
be
our
a key
bed.
to the opportunity of not turning into my uncle.
Well, your mind is racing for possibilities already. While you normally would spend your day either throwing trash or gobbo into the 12-foot bottomless hole at the edge of town, today you're going to go see the ceremony. And brother, let me tell you, it's a travesty. There, on the mostly platform, but also sometimes gallows, is Mayor Harissa Chunsley, famous first for being mayor and second for having a set of identical 15 twins, each more identical than the last. As it so happens, the sheer volume of her progeny was what was able to win her the popular vote, because it sure wasn't her policy, leadership, or ability to not regularly violate human rights.
This town sucks.
Yeah.
Despite having a pus bag
It's
for
illegal to live here.
It is.
tough.
It's illegal to live here, but also no one's going to arrest anyone because it would mean doing work, and nobody wants to do that. Despite having a pus bag for a personality, Mayor Harissa Chunsley is looking pretty good next to Butch Baggo, who's laughing chunks of baloney out of his crooked liar's mouth as he accepts the key to the city. Yeah, what can I say besides, I'm a hero and you're all not. Honestly, I more than deserve this. And now I'm going to take it out of your homes. Just whatever I want, whenever I want. There's a moment of silence.
That goblin dick.
I have a sudden, just the briefest moment of newfound confidence, and I go just kind of loud, like not yelling, but kind of just loud enough that maybe somebody heard me. I go, more like you're not a freaking hero.
You said it. You said it, pal.
I would like you to roll for me a d20 actually to tell whether or not anyone was able to hear your razzing, as it were.
That's a 19, baby.
Oh my God! Describe winning the crowd, Gabo, or at least like the 6 people around you.
So I'm in there, and I shuffle. I do a little harumph. I go, and then I'm fake clearing my throat, but then there is something in there, so I go, and then I go, yeah, the more like I just don't know. I kind of not a hero, if you ask me, because of some information that some people have. And everybody, the mystery of that is very intriguing to the people around me. So they're sort of like, oh, whoa, that is an interesting possibility. If that's true, there's some evidence that we don't know about. Maybe that's something we should know about.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Oh my God! I think the tide is turning on Butch Baggo. Wow. I'm gonna say that Butch from the gallows or platform, whatever we're calling it, kind of notices that people around are making interested expressions as they turn to see this stout, blue-haired, soul-patched guy mumble something. He can't hear it, but he sort of recognizes you. Admittedly, he was pretty drunk when the 3 of you slapped that dong down on the table, but it's enough to fire off what neurons remain functional in his brain and some amount of recognition, and his stomach just turns a little bit.
Yeah, I bet he doesn't remember me without a penis in my hand.
He does hear you say that, and that definitely fires off the remaining neurons in his head. But also everyone around you hears that, and people are
we
really
all heard
curious
that.
now. They're not judgmental, but they are curious as to what that actually means.
It was a goblin's one, and it wasn't attached. The goblin was dead. I wasn't helping the goblin.
Guys,
Some of you guys were there. Remember?
yeah, helping a goblin is a good euphemism for a hand job, for sure.
I did.
I'd like to take advantage of the crowd kind of being distracted, to sneak through with my roguish skills and try and tie Baggo's shoes together or something so he trips.
Okay, I'm going to tell you now that Baggo wears kind of belted boots, you know, like the kind of annoying
I'd like to buckle the
Oh
two
yeah.
belts together.
You can definitely try to do that. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it's going to be difficult. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
do
gonna
not get busted.
Sneak through the crowd. That's a 12.
It's a
That's
12.
a 12.
That's not going to work.
Okay.
Baggo is not going to notice, but Mayor Harissa Chunsley is in fact going to see you trying to tie the town heroes belt buckle straps together, and she's going to give a swift little wooden clogged kick right to your nose, and you're recognizing these are fancy shoes. You know, wooden clogs are hard to come by in Mudburg, a town with one tree. Honestly, you're kind of honored. I think your tears well up, and you feel something kind of like pride that the mayor has given you such attention as to kick you with her fancy shoes.
That's the nicest material I've ever come in contact with.
You're welcome, she says, and puts a foot on your head and pushes you down to the ground.
Oh, that honestly, this is my new fetish. Let's go.
Well, with the three of you there,
Oh no, he's helping his own goblin now.
I'm going to
Yeah,
say
not now.
that from your vantage, you can spy on Butch Baggo's belt a big, beefy, stupid-looking sword, like someone accidentally punched a dull edge onto a club down at the club factory. But it's also the only sword that you have ever actually seen. And all real adventurers have a sword. Butch Baggo, as you know, is not a real adventurer. But you're pretty sure that between the three of you, you would mount at least to one adventurer. So that sword really should be yours. Tonight,
That's
as
not
you
so
know,
bad.
Butch Baggo is going to host a party in his own honor at his humble keep. And I say humble ironically because that shithole is nothing but it's begging to be burgled by the three of you. It is time for the Blades of Baggo. How did the three of you pass the time till the night as you begin to hatch this plan of stealing Butch Baggo's sword?
I go home and masturbate to the mayor.
Your home, again, is Uncle Finn.
Yeah, I go home
Yeah.
and bar the door and masturbate to the mayor.
Okay.
Well, I can't get into
extremely have
That
to
only
pee.
takes, like,
I can't go home, so Yak's in there. So I'm just thriving in owning something for the first time ever outside of my book. The cabbage, kind of seeing how it feels in different pockets in different places, knowing that I do own it, so I can put it wherever I want. You know, different
Oh, you're
pockets.
too sad.
I'm going to say
not sad, I got,
conclusively from
own
Gabo
stuff.
and Yak's reply then that you don't actually have a moment of clarity where you formulate a plan, which is fine. It works with today's adventure. I'm not bothered by that in the least. Fim, I'll give you the opportunity to come up with anything that you might want to enact as a plan for the evening.
How are we supposed to plan anything when Yak's going nutso on his own self there?
How we're supposed to plan anything when the mayor's so hot with those fancy shoes?
I have sketched out the keep in the mud and the shit with a stick, and I have a lot of like football X's and O's and kind of a lot of arrows going around. But then Gabo rolls his rat cabbage over it, and it mucks the whole thing up.
Oh, sorry, that's a bit of my property that seemed to have rolled over there.
Wow,
Yeah,
and a real owner of an item. Unbelievable.
Yeah, fucking so
Fim,
fancy.
as the only one who actually tried, I'm
Change, man.
going to give you the ability to hold on to advantage on whatever your next roll is. So
Oh, hell
a little bit of planning goes a long way. You have an idea rolling around somewhere in that empty barrel you're calling ahead. But we're going to have to go now from the day into the night. And the night skies above Mudburg are, in fact, beautiful, untarnished by the lamplit luxuries of a much, much more comfortable place to live. The night is a blazing, colorful tapestry of stars and constellations and possibility. It's in this way that maybe it's for the best that our heroes are unlearned, and consequently unburdened by the consideration of how monumentally insignificant they are among the cosmos, already in a world where they are so insignificant. Really just like a Matryoshka doll of insignificance, who layer after layer of insignificance houses just a unknowable little nugget of nothingness in the middle. But if that someone had a sword, that someone would be significant. So you find yourself now outside the Castle Baggo. It is, of course, not actually a castle, but a 2-story townhome with a fantastically unsafe aftermarket stone facade that makes it
amazing
look
castle.
Wow.
like it's ready to just collapse on itself at any time. Luckily, it can't because
Incredible.
its structure tonight is stuffed to the limits with the dumbest of the town's dumb shits. It's a veritable who's who of nobodies, like all the most important people from the least important place got together in the effort of willing themselves and through some kind of collective bargaining into the bottom tier of personage, and it doesn't work. Looking around you, you know, 2 things to be true. You're here, and you're not invited. And there's a third thing, but your characters don't know it. And it's that I don't really have a lot of fancy words ready to read at this point. So you're going to have to kind of find your own way in. And we're just going to have to hope it matches up with the art that I drew. I will tell you one other thing, is that outside the mansion is our man Aaron Kramer, who is the caterer for tonight's party.
Aaron, what's up?
Hey,
Aaron,
what's
my
up,
guy.
guys? Aaron definitely doesn't know any of your names. You've seen him around. He's
man.
just stoked to see anyone because he is rolling on some dank rat cabbage.
Oh, that's what that is?
Oh, fuck. I
Hey,
would have
man.
spent less of my day masturbating if I'd known we had drugs available.
Not that
man,
much less, probably. Be real.
True.
You, what's up, dude? You going in there? Like
Yeah. I mean, I'm like working right now. It's crazy, right? It's
Yeah,
jobs.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
I like you wanted like they have this. I'm handing out treats. Like everyone's eating
cool.
treats. You want like one of these little treats? They're crazy.
Guys, huddle up.
Yeah, what, Finn?
All right. This party's catered. This guy's fucking rolling. How do we get into the party as caterers?
Fim, you're the smartest person I know and have ever met. And I don't know what the answer to your question, but I am on board with this plan. That's brilliant.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I
Hell
thought
yeah.
it was. I thought you were gonna have something ready when we did the huddle. So I was. I didn't get anything ready. I didn't know we were gonna do stuff.
I say we choke him out until he falls asleep and then take his clothes and we all fit one on top of each other but back to back. It dresses him.
Fim like turns his head outside of the huddle and like looks at the guy again and comes back into the huddle. Yeah, good plan. Let's do it.
All right. So if I understand correctly, you want to choke out Aaron Kramer, the caterer, and try and steal his clothes.
Yes, that is entirely
Yeah.
correct.
Jack's gonna choke.
You were
him.
going with my plan. I just said you're the smartest person I know. I didn't think
Jack's been
I
cooking
felt
something
good
all
about
day.
myself for the first time in Yak.
Fim is
actually-
also really impressionable, and I guess giving him any compliments enough to convince him that what you're doing is a good idea. All right, so yeah, why don't you explain this plan to me in a little more detail? Who's actually doing what?
well, I'm stealthy.
You could do. I could see if there's a sleep spell in my book. You know.
Oh, there's a
Good
sleep
idea,
spell
good
when
idea.
your only spell is throwing a book really hard at somebody's head.
Yeah, that'll work.
Gonna
Ready, you
look
know.
at our character sheets here. Yak
can
is
I-
pretty stealthy. You have didn't even see me, idiot, where you get extra damage when coming from stealth. And Gabo,
Yeah.
you do in fact have throw book and imitation incantation, which I'm only realizing now, 2 episodes in, should have read intimidation incantation, but I guess I was so in character trying to like describe this town full of illiterate people that I just misspelled a ton of stuff.
I think no, but I think it's imitation because it's pretending to be a spell. So it could be the intimidation of the imitation incantation. So
Yeah, that sounds
all
about
works.
right.
Yeah.
Could
you
I
guys didn't hear that.
possibly?
You think I know spells?
You are the most magical man alive, my friend.
Yes.
Could I possibly distract Aaron with some lively conversation possibly giving Gabo some time to gear up his spell.
We could definitely do
Could I
that.
pass on my advantage?
And then
with
while
that?
we do that, I'd like to tie his shoes together. I want to redeem myself from earlier. And also
Hey.
see how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Buddy, no one here knows how to tie their shoes in the first place. We're all Velcro kids.
Okay,
That's-
well, I would like to Velcro. I assume the Velcro is some kind of coarse raccoon fur. I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'd like to Velcro his shoes.
It's
together
old
then.
school Velcro. It's the hair of a straight hair animal and the hair of a curly hair animal. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Exactly. It's pony and curly pony.
Okay. So, what I'm hearing is Fim, who's got a -2 to coolness, is going to
You got
try and distract this guy with a lively conversation.
Stripping
Yak,
balls. Let's keep that in mind.
I do
Then I'm
have
gonna
a +1 to
magic ready.
coolness, but I have a -2 to brain, so I don't know if it would occur to me to stop
I feel like
Fim.
you're playing accurate to your character to do exactly the wrong thing and try and do something useless while the other two party members are actually trying to enact the plan. I'd love to.
True
I'd
to
lo-
character and real life.
It's art imitating life, light imitating art, and yeah, I'm kind of calling this art. It's pretty important what we're doing here. I think everyone in the chat could agree. I'm seeing Magnaz888, who hasn't joined in a few streams, asking why aren't we doing a TV parody tonight? It's Dungeon Fuckers. We're doing a little bit of a special. We're doing an animated show, and thank you, State Arizona, for liking the art. Oh yeah, and Be My Badger agreeing that it is in fact art because they love it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so order this out for me, Fim. You're probably talking to Aaron first.
Having a very cool, calm conversation with just two cool guys.
So
Talking.
I'll tell you, Fim. Normally, I'd have you roll with disadvantage for this due to the extreme unlikeliness that you'd be able to come up with anything engaging to say to this very down dude. But go ahead and roll a d20 for me, and we shall see.
Here we go. I'm having a cool conversation with another person, and I rolled a 7.
Okay, so I am going to say that because our man Aaron is, pretty busy with work. He's, tilting this tray, and as everything slides to the edge, he's trying to push it back up because he can't quite figure out why they're not staying on the tray.
Hey, whoa! Let's not drop those.
He's definitely not engaging with you in a meaningful way, but he's lightly humoring you as you try to distract him. So give me your best on
I'm
that.
used to that. That's about what I'm used to. So I'm perfectly equipped for this. And so the number 7 I think is interesting because it's more than 6.
This is what you're
it's
saying to
less
him in the
than
moment.
8.
Just
Yes.
describing the few things that you know about numbers. How high can Fim count? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I don't know what comes after 8, but I bet it's something even more interesting than 7. But I'm just glad that the universe still has some mystery left.
So as this
Gabo, how's this
conversation
still going, bud?
is going, Gabo, are you thumping first, or is Yak tying shoelaces first?
I'm waiting for the signal.
Yeah, that's the signal.
got a
is
signal.
I sneak down underneath.
So
And
Yak,
it's
you
behind
do have. Ooh, you didn't even see me, idiot. I'm gonna say that this will function now. It gives you extra
Yeah.
1d6 attack damage when attacking from stealth. You must insult your enemy while doing so. Here's the thing. I would say that our man Fim trying to have a interesting conversation about numbers is already insult enough to Aaron Kramer's meager intelligence.
Yes.
But we'll give this to you anyway. Why don't you roll a d20 for me, and we'll see how well this works out.
That's a 9.
Okay.
That's more than
Oh
7.
no.
Our man Aaron Kramer has a solid 18 against your 9, and definitely feels you tugging at his shoes. And for the second time in the day, Yak, you are getting kicked straight in the head. But this guy's shoes are not nearly as nice as these wooden clogs. They're instead soggy. I don't know. Let's get some ideas here. I was gonna say they're made from wet tree bark, but as we've talked about, there's only the one tree in town. We're just gonna
Maybe
see
like a
rat
rat's
leather.
bladder.
Yeah.
rat bladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got rat bladders that are stretched tightly over his grotesque feet, kind of like,
Oh.
imagine, if you will, like a weird, wet, tiny condom that is pulled over a foot that used to
you
be
undid
inside a
my
rat.
fetish. Oh.
Oh, he's cured.
undone. I'm cured of my foot fetish now. Fuck.
Yak, I'm gonna say that this will be 1 point against your ego for the night. So as we recall from last time, 3 knocks against your ego will have you crying in front of all your friends and running home, and you will effectively be out of the adventure. So yeah, what does it look like when he kicks you in the face with his rat bladder shoe?
He kicks me in the face, and I get the flashes of my fucking fuck fest earlier, and they all become tainted because this guy's shoes are so nasty. And I roll over and I just look up at the beautiful sky, and I kind of feel like, oh, maybe I can't ever escape to somewhere better if I'm just getting kicked in the mud all the time.
Damn, freaking true as hell. Rocked
Yeah.
me. Let's move on to Gabo. So you're still trying to wall up Aaron Kramer while he's satisfactorily distracted by obnoxious conversation about the number 7 and somebody screwing with his rat bladder shoes.
Yeah, then I'm gonna add to this because I don't think that wasn't the signal. The signal wasn't getting kicked. That was, so I don't know if we're go on that. So I take out my brand new piece of my rat cabbage, and what I want to do is I'm gonna walk up to him and I go, "Yeah, Aaron, so sorry for my compatriots there. They're not, the best at the high society. You, me, property owners, you got the shoes, I got this cabbage. Maybe I interest you in just a slice, a leaf torn off the red cabbage that I have. And I want to hold out the red cabbage like that he could take off a leaf of it. But then I'm going to do the switcheroo. And when he leans forward, I'm going to smack him in the on the fontanelle with the book and knock him out right on the soft spot.
So as you make this proposition to Aaron Kramer, he leans in with curiosity and says, like, dude, who are you? And he doesn't really care. He sees that rat cabbage and it's got his interest. So he's leaning in real tight.
Perfect.
To grab a leaf. You actually see that he's not going for the leaf. He's grabbing a tail and trying to pull out the biggest rat he can find inside that rat cabbage.
I'm not allowed to do that.
That will, however, Gabo, give you a great opportune moment to wallop him with your book. So you do have advantage on this roll. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me, and we'll see how good you get him.
Okay, so advantage. That's a third. Do I get beefiness on this?
Yeah, that is a beefiness roll, so that is a plus
Plus 1. 13 plus 1, 14.
All right, that's a strong hit. It actually works.
Baby.
I'm going to say that on
Yeah, get him right in there.
on someone who's more together than dear Aaron Kramer, it might have been a glancing blow that injures and startles and aggravates someone, but Aaron is looking for any opportunity to just bliss out for a minute, and he goes down like your wet sheets from this morning into a heap on the floor.
He goes into Uncle Sandy's piss basket. Right down there.
So I'm going to remind you that there are 3 of you and exactly 1 Aaron Kramer. There are now disgusting little colorful morsels with toothpicks splayed all across the ground. I don't know. They used to be hors d'oeuvres, and now they're something else.
I'd like to pick up the cleanest one and brush it off and give it a sniff.
Okay. It smells a bit like rat bladder. It seems to be a popular just item around town as a whole.
Yeah, use every part of the rat.
It's all we have and it's all we love.
So the plan moving forward here is obviously to all get on each other's shoulders and become one Aaron, correct?
I was thinking we'd go back to back.
Yeah, I think back to back
like
is-
the on top of each other's played out. We go one in front seat, one in back seat, one in the middle. That's gonna be Yaxy.
Do
Yeah,
it
let's give it a go.
style.
As you can tell from Aaron's physique in the on-screen drawing, he is maybe not the whitest man in the world, maybe taller than wide, but I respect this bold decision all the same.
But here's what we can do, though, is that we just need the vest, and then we can kind of tear the shirt so it's like a bib, so that it looks like we have a big shirt on. But it's kind of more of a, like how like a penguin.
Wait. Why doesn't someone wear the outfit and go in and then open the back door for the other? Wait, two of us wear the outfit and then go and open the door for the one in the back.
That way it won't look weird.
Yeah, if there's only two of us in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a better plan.
Yeah.
All right, who's gonna wear Aaron Kramer's outfit?
Do we draw rats out of the rat cabinet?
I look like this
Not
guy
getting
already.
the rats.
I think this guy is my cousin anyways.
Yeah, Yak does look a little bit like him. Maybe, Fim, if you just kind of curl up into a little ball, then Yak will hold you and you could pull your legs up and then keep your head in the shirt and it'll just look like he's full, got a big belly.
This all checks out for me, and I'm very good at getting into a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually I'm crying, but I'll try not to this time.
Just hang off Yak's front like a little koala.
Yeah.
Convincing.
Is that the plan? Yak in
Yeah,
costume,
That's
Fim as
the
a koala?
plan.
No,
Yes.
hanging off like a koala would, but under the shirt so that it just looks like a belly.
Okay.
Is becoming a
Right.
koala an option? Do you have a character model for me if I become a koala?
I don't have that handy, but Gabo, do you happen to have a turn koala spell?
Yet not this one, not in this edition.
I'm gonna say no, Fim. All right. So we got Yak now in costume. Fim fully crammed up way too comfortably under Yak's clothes. There's a lot of body-to-body contact, even more than happens overnight in the bed together, which is really kind of startling in a way that neither of you were expecting.
I have to pee right now.
But it is happening. I think you all constantly have to pee. There's probably all kinds of bladder problems that you have from consuming nothing but water pressed out of mud and eating rat bladders.
Yeah.
We are getting
You can't
a
even
suggestion
call it pee anymore.
from Amiability that a character could try to crawl into the back of the pants like Big Booty, which I suppose is also a possibility. But
Gabo, be the boy.
Then you just look stacked. But that would draw so much attention.
Yeah, draw too much attention.
you'd be a brick house in a house of fake brick. Let's try this out. I guess we're gonna head inside with Fim hanging off as a belly under Yak's clothes, and Gabo, I don't know. You're sent a.
I'm gonna meet them at the back door. I give them the thumbs up.
Okay.
You guys at the back door.
So as you can see, as our bucket boys enter the front, I'm going to move you here. If you can take a look at that. Yeah. You will see that there is, in fact, no back door. This house is not up to fire code because there is, in fact, no fire code in Butch Baggo's extremely dangerous death trap of a house. But
May have miscalculated.
from the front door, you can see to your left a kitchen, to your right a living room, and the party is bustling. Honestly, Gabo, from getting a look inside, you could probably get through unnoticed if you played your cards right and hung behind Yak and Fim and used them to kind of obscure yourself. Really, the only person in here from looking around that you don't want to recognize you would be Butch Baggo himself.
Fuck that guy.
I just go, You guys, I just went around the back. There's no back door on this. So you gotta let me into a window.
Okay, we'll try and find a window, or maybe there's a skylight, and all you have to do is climb the house and get in from the roof.
I like that idea.
From the outside, you can see there are in fact windows on the second floor, and that would take a bit of doing. But if you wanted to try to enter through the second floor, you certainly could.
How much stuff is there in the yard?
Let's see. In the yard, you could see there are. Let's get rid of Aaron here, who has conveniently been slumped and presumably dragged behind the house. From the yard, you can see there is this fence. There is, in fact, a mailbox, which is kind of an ostentatious display of wealth because there is no post or mail anywhere within the town of Mudburg, and really it's just kind of like having an ornamental display of wealth. And then you see also a number of hay stacks that have been used as kind of like bean bags for the party, for seats inside. You could try and stack up some of those haystacks to climb up to the roof. They're a bit precarious, but it's possible.
Yeah, let's stack that hay.
Am I still koalaing to Yak?
Yeah,
I've
let's
decided
go.
that I
Let's
am.
go in first, and then we can figure out
Yeah.
either you climb, you stack it up, or
I will say
like,
Tony
through
did
the
just
now-
say,
we're
just
now in-
walk in.
We're now
I
on
kn-
branching
you know.
storyline.
You walked directly into the front door of the house, and you immediately walked out and decided to go up the window
Yeah, and
instead
then I
for more
said
challenge.
there's no back door. So
Let's go for
let's
it.
just go in. Let's just go in the party.
It's too late. You're already stacking up some hay. Everyone, roll a d6 for me, and I just want to
they're
see.
already in. I don't get, this is, we could do it's a pincer strategy. Did I come in from the top?
That's right. I got a 4.
I got a 5.
Oh, wait, you guys helping me stack the hay? You already in there.
Yeah, they're back out. You look over your shoulder and you see both of them. Fim,
Oh, you guys did
We
it.
got the plan keeps changing.
I
We're
was
not
going to
gonna
meet you
leave,
in there.
and we're not.
There's no back door.
Okay, we gotta go back. Yeah, steer us back.
Okay, you go back in through the front door now as a group. There's a bunch of hay stacked out in front of the house to no avail. To your left, you see a kitchen. To your right, you see the living room. And, kind of around the back, you can tell that there's stairs leading up to the second floor. And kind of given like a brief peek in through the kitchen, you could tell that there does seem to be another door back there. It seems to be closed and padlocked, so you don't know what's beyond there. But, yeah. I mean, a padlock on a door wouldn't mean very much to anyone who had a key that could open any door in the city, though. I'll throw that out there. But, yeah. That's probably a thought that takes a while to dawn on the three of you.
Baggo, do we see Baggo, and does Baggo have the key visibly worn around, like on his neck, like he might if he was very proud of the key he just received?
You don't see Baggo anywhere. From the sound of the center of the party, it seems to be that more people are upstairs right now. If you look in the kitchen, you'll see a man known only as Rowdy, who's a rowdy kind of fella. A real party dude who likes to have a good time and is currently looking to have a good time. And if you look into the living room, you will see someone by the name of Wet Wendy, who you recognize as Butch Baggo's once girlfriend. The rumor is that Wet Wendy sank into that bog that the high school sank into all those years ago and just kind of never left. Looks like she finally made it out for this occasion. Who knows whether she's here to try and win Baggo back or try to break his heart.
I had a crush on Wet Wendy all through high school.
Oh, same, dude.
I think
He's a little wet for
look
me.
at her.
Gabo likes them dry.
Like I'm dry.
So these are the two faces that you recognize among a sea of people that you're not quite as familiar with, which is really kind of interesting because there are not so many people in town. But
we don't talk to a lot of people, or people don't really talk to us, I guess is more correct.
Yaxie's Wet Wendy, and like really, I'd like to roll to see if I get a crush on her.
Okay.
No, I roll to see if I get a bigger crush on her.
Okay, everyone roll to see if you get a crush on Wendy. Gabo, you're rolling with, let's call it advantage or disadvantage to your intended roll since you have more intention to not have a crush on her. But who knows? Who knows what will happen in your nethers when the dice are at play? Everyone roll a d6 for me.
A d6?
Yeah.
I got a 1, but she's the one for me.
I got a 6. I'm not interested.
So Gabo is
focused on the plan at hand.
Strongly against having any kind of interest in Wet Wendy. In fact, you kind of fight back a little bit of a stomach turn when you see her and just say, "Oh, not my type, that's for sure." Fim, on the other hand, you're crushing way too hard. That one is going to mean that you are helplessly in love with her. In fact, it's so crushing. It's going to be a point against your ego, Fim, because you look at like these drops of dewy swamp clumps just dripping down Wet Wendy's face and her domino brick-shaped nose, and you're thinking there's no way she would ever go out with a guy like me. And honestly, it breaks your heart a little bit, and your ego's crushed. You're taking 1 point. That puts you down to 2 for the round, so you have 2 ego points.
If I had a sword, if I had a cool fucking sword, Wet Wendy would love me.
That's possibly true. That's a really good point. You better find that sword quick, and maybe you could impress her.
I'm over my crush. She used to be hot when I was younger, but she's not anymore. I've got bigger sights set out.
Yak is looking down to see whether Wet Wendy is wearing any shoes, and when you see that she's not, you're like, no, done. I don't care. Shoeless.
Is she like looking at me? Do you guys think she's looking at me?
It's kind of hard to tell where Wet Wendy's looking at any given time because she just kind of seems to stare through everything. But before you know it, Wet Wendy is talking to you, drawn by her magnetic, not quite stare. You're all kind of pulled into the living room, and Wet Wendy is making conversation with the three of you. Hello, I recognize you. We all went to school together back when there was a school.
Hey, what? Yeah,
She remember.
Oh, I remember you. And she touches Gabo's face with a wet caress, leaving a slimy trail all down your chin. She's twirling your soul patch hair.
God, Fem, the soul patch is very hard. I got it groomed a certain way so that.
You immediately can tell that Wet Wendy is here on a mission. And not anyone would pay this kind of attention to you. You think that something is up with her.
Yeah, okay, guys. Hey, Wet Wendy, hold on. We're going to just have a quick huddle. Guys, we huddled up?
Yeah. What's up?
Okay, so I mean, she's always being pretty weird, but she's being real weird. And I think that either maybe there's some sort of plan afoot. Also, she's behaving a lot like I think that a ghost would. So I feel like maybe she's either doing a trap or she's dead, and that's her spirit. So one of those two things. But either way, I think we gotta skedaddle away from this whole situation.
A ghost? That's fucking scary, man. I'm out of here. No way. Let's get away from her. Let's distract her and get away. Unless
we will get away and then get the sword and then she'll love me.
You, the soul patch one. I am so taken by your soul patchy visage.
I know it's the coolest facial hair. That's why I grew it. But that's.
Fim is like noodling with the little peach fuzz of hair maybe on his chin.
As you may have heard, I've recently become a single woman, and am on the lookout for a new partner. And perhaps we might find the opportunity to become closer.
Yeah,
Do it,
no,
Gobbo.
I didn't actually. I had not heard that you were single. I heard that you were in a bog. So that I guess you got out of the bog, so that's good. But I'm
Put in a word for me.
I can't be dating anybody right now because of my work.
Gobbo,
I'm gonna whisper in Gobbo's ear.
take her upstairs and see if she knows where he keeps the sword.
Hey, why did you know? You're not gonna know
Oh,
that.
it is a good idea.
Come on, bro. You gotta hook up with this girl
No.
for us, your friends. We're the piss boys. Come on.
We're the bucket boys. We just piss a lot.
Bucket full of piss. Let's go, buddy.
Oh.
We at least try to see if she knows where the sword is first.
All right. What is your move here? Are you how are you trying to pump her for information? No innuendo intended for sure.
Hey, you know what I think would I was thinking about trimming my soul patch, but I don't have anything sharp with me, so I was wondering if there's like a sharp sword here there, because I'm gonna trim it up because it's gonna look even better than ever.
I'm sure that we could use the sword of, what was his name? We used to go out so long ago last week. Oh, yes, Butch Baggo. Why don't we ascend the staircase and put on a little show for him? I'm sure he would bring out his sword if he saw us together.
Yeah, Yak is nodding furiously and like,
Do it.
Yeah, she's
Fim is
talking
just
so much like a
seething with
ghost
jealousy.
would.
You get the distinct impression that she is suggesting that Butch Baggo would try to behead you if she tried to make him jealous by the two of you appearing together, which is probably true. You might find out where the sword is that way, but it might also be dangerous. You have learned, I guess, from Wet Wendy that Baggo is upstairs, which you already made the presumption of. But at this point, she's locked a slimy tentacle-ish grip around your shoulders and is now holding quite tightly to Gobbo. What is your move here?
I'll just try to get this quick and go, oh, you're being awful loud so that it echoes through the house. You're being so comfortable around me, Wendy. Man, I like it.
I want you to roll for me to see how loud she is in fact being, and whether that's going to do anything for you, or how loud. Oh, that's how loud you are. Rather, it's 17. Okay, I'm gonna do an opposed roll to your 17. I have rolled a 6. Okay. Gobbo, you are so loud that you attract the attention of none other than little Rowdy. Ooh, and Rowdy loves a rowdy noise. And Rowdy is coming right over to see what's so rowdy over here because he can't handle anyone being more rowdy than himself. So he's going to come over.
Rowdy. If anything happens to Rowdy, I will kill myself and everyone in the world.
So Rowdy's cartwheeling and rolling. This is, I don't know, I'm lazy here, so just imagine like Chris.
I love this guy.
I thought you would, Brian. This is like a Chris Farley character in a fantasy world. He's doing somersaults and cartwheels, and it looks like he's on the verge of his heart giving out at any moment, but that he will love it, and that would be exactly how he wants to go. And yeah, he sees this happening, and Gobbo, you have Rowdy's attention, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Gobbo, let's party, man!" And this guy knows your name. You don't know how. It's probably because I said it by mistake just now. But he is ready to rock with you, and yeah, I'm gonna say that he's fully got you above his head now, and is cartwheeling. He's kind of helicoptering you. You know, like as if he's gonna do a pro wrestling move and throw you across the ring. So I don't know. This could be a great escape for you. It could also be dangerous to your health, which is just as important as ego, maybe more important because you might die. But Gobbo, go ahead and give me a roll. I want to see whether Rowdy damages you in this distraction.
That's 12.
Okay, rolling against Rowdy's 4. Okay, Gobbo, I'm going to say that you find yourself in a kind of blissful, peaceful state in this, I don't know, almost kind of like astronaut G-force chair kind of situation. You attained some kind of equilibrium you didn't know was missing. Like maybe you have some kind of weird inner ear disorder that upsets your balance, and this high velocity spinning has given you the clarity that you've always needed. Do you want to describe flying out of Rowdy and Wet Wendy's reach to safety and where you land?
Yeah, I'm up there and I'm feeling unbelievable. Because Rowdy is so strong, he's got such a low center of gravity to lift me up like I was a feather or a piece of parchment, and then I feel like a bird. And I'm a stout guy, so I'm not always so light on my feet, but on Rowdy's hands, I feel like I've been lifted up by a breeze. And I say, I feel like a bird, Rowdy, keep going. And he's going nuts. He's mirror. I go, I feel like a little bird. I feel like a albatross on the sea.
I want to say for color that this like conversation that you're having with Rowdy while he's spinning you is going on exactly as long as this has been going on in real life. It's like a full-on 4-minute conversation that you're having, and while Wendy is just watching and going, yeah.
Fim moseys over to Wet Wendy. It's like, do you like it, Rowdy?
Excuse me, Fim?
Fim goes over to Wet Wendy. He's like, do you like things, Rowdy?
Roll for me to see if she hears you. This is
on a D6?
Yeah, on a D6. I'm not loving that you're choosing to do this, but we're gonna go for it anyway.
We got a 2.
Okay. Luckily, her opposed roll is also a 2. She just fully doesn't notice, but you know that this is rightfully distracting, and it does not hurt your ego. You think that even if you were Butch Baggo in the situation, she probably would be pretty focused on this tiny soul patch man being helicoptered by an almost just as stout guy who was just going wow whoa the entire time.
It's not me. It's yeah.
Gobbo, I'm gonna go ahead and give you just like a little bit of direction on this and say that you fly right over to this nice staircase. I'm gonna move the bucket over here, and you're out of Wendy's reach, and luckily, she is awful tall. She has got a good vantage, but the three of you of short stature disappear well within the crowd of the 6 other people who are in the room, and her wet, boggy eyes cannot see you at that distance, and you no longer have Wendy or Rowdy looking out for you.
Are we on the stairs heading up?
Fim and Yak, you're free to move on your own. Gobbo is now over near the stairs.
I guess we gotta head upstairs, right?
I mean, you may want to at some point, but you do you, frankly.
I want to check out this locked door in the kitchen, and also because I haven't eaten anything today and I feel dizzy. I had to sniff those ground hors d'oeuvres because I'm very hungry. So I just want to go see what's in the kitchen, check if there's any food, and then check out this lock hole and see if I can maybe pick it.
All right, I'm gonna say that you go to the kitchen, and in there you find our man Aaron Kramer, nude as the day he was born, which is pretty nude, nuder than most people really in Mudburg. He was born without skin, and it grew later. But that's the story for a different time. And Aaron Kramer sees you walking, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, I think I know you."
I'm still wearing his clothes from earlier.
Yeah, he goes, "You're like, hold on, it's coming to me." And he snaps his fingers a couple. You're Aaron Kramer.
Yeah, me. I'm cool guy Aaron Kramer, man.
If you wanna see if you can walk past Aaron Kramer, give me a D6, and we'll see if he recognizes you as not being him as you walk by.
Okay, here we go. That's a 3.
That's a 3 on a D6. Let's do Aaron's opposed roll with disadvantage because he does have a massive welt. Aaron rolled a 3. Aaron rolled a 4. Okay, so Aaron is starting to recognize you. Yak, I'm going to give you opportunity here. You can either try and take care of the Aaron problem, air quotations, before he recognizes you, or you can book it from the kitchen. Up to you. But if you want a closer look at that door, you're gonna have to deal with this guy.
I've got +1 to coolness, and I feel like this guy's tripping pretty hard. So I want to just start talking to him about stuff that's going to blow his mind and distract him. So I'm going to talk to him about how far do you think... Have you ever thought about how far a rat bladder can stretch?
Fim,
You really pulled it?
are you with Yak or are you with Gabo in this moment?
Oh, sorry. I'm with Yak.
Okay. Do you want to offer any assistance here?
Truthfully, metagaming a little bit, I think the best assistance I can provide is staying out of it.
Okay. So Yak, I'll let you give another go on this. This time, let's do a D20. And you do have that +1 from your coolness.
That's right.
Let me bring up that Yak sheet again for the viewers at home.
Here we go. That's a nat 20, baby.
That is a nat 20. Oh my
What
God.
I tell you, Fim didn't help.
As you describe a rat bladder being stretched to its absolute maximum, Aaron Kramer looks down at his shoes. The one thing that you wisely did not take from him, you're pretty sure you couldn't even pry them loose from his feet if you tried. And he really is beginning to have his mind blown. Whoa! As he begins to think about it. Aaron Kramer pulls the rat bladder slowly up his calf and kind of like puts his other foot into it too until he's kind of like mermaiding with it, and then continues to just pull it up over his entire body until Aaron Kramer is kind of in a self-contained cocoon made out of translucent bladder, and you see him just like breathing in and out, just like puffing up this balloon made out of a bladder with this breath fogging the interior. You're worried that at some point he may suffocate and die, but that might not be your problem. You don't know. You didn't tell him to do this. He's pretty much out of the picture now if you want to try anything with that door.
I'd like to sneak past him and just like take my sharpened like shiv and just poke a little hole in the back just so he can breathe and he doesn't die, and then go and try and pick the lock. Hello?
Hello.
Tony's in the bladder. We can't hear him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was muted and I was describing something so beautiful. I was describing God. Oh, if you could only hear. They should have sent a poet. I will try to recreate it again. I will say that without fail, without even having to have you to roll, I'm going to say that you go ahead and you poke a hole into this rap ladder, and it creates the loudest balloon pop that you've ever heard in your life. You've never heard a balloon pop. You've never seen a balloon. I don't know what a balloon might be, but the concussive force of this bladder exploding around Aaron's head is enough to just knock him out cold. So he's alive. He's on the floor. He is out of the picture. You're free to do whatever you like with this door. Rowdy has run into the room again, though, and luckily he doesn't seem to care about you. He's just kind of like a dog howling at like a fire truck siren. It's just kind of going, oh, in the background. He's having a great time. This is maybe the greatest day of his life.
Can I give Rowdy a high five and then try and pick the lock to the store in the kitchen?
Yeah, roll a d6 for me.
Okay. That's a 1.
Rowdy high fives your hand so freaking hard that you hear something snap. You're going to take a point of physical damage. And unfortunately, Yak, this is going to make it harder to pick that lock. But, I'll be fair. Rowdy runs off, still just like howling into the night as you shake your hand off. It's just like visibly red on your green-blue skin.
Ow, fuck. My like ring fingers like twisted a way that doesn't look natural.
It's just fully turned
damn.
backwards.
Yeah.
How does that even happen? Well,
You look like one of
Okay.
those old offensive linemen on the NFL show. His fingers are all the wrong way.
oh God.
I'd like to try and pick this lock in the kitchen.
All right, let's see. Do you have anything that would help with that on your character sheet? Let's find out.
Well, I have my
Where's the act?
switchblade.
You do have your switchblade. You do have knife to meet you, and if you do a cool trick with your switchblade before any roll, you could gain advantage. Tell you what, I'll let you use knife to meet you to neutralize your injury that you otherwise would have from high-fiving Rowdy.
Okay.
So roll a d6 for me to see if knife to meet you works or whether you lose your switchblade.
Okay. Here we go. Fuck, that's a 1.
Okay. You try to do a cool switchblade trick with your injured hand, and you manage to just like fully fling the switchblade into the air, causing it to just become lodged in the ceiling, fully out of reach.
Shit.
You're down a switchblade, but luckily you didn't injure yourself any more than you already have, except for your ego. It didn't look very cool. You're down another ego point. So let's see. Yak, you're now down 2 ego. You have 1 ego point left for the round. You have 2 health points left for the round. You're in fine physical shape, but your ego's looking pretty bruised. I'll let you try that lock now, but you will have disadvantage on it.
I'll try it. I'm gonna take a broken toothpick in the kitchen trash that I find and try and pick it with that. Pick
Okay.
the lock with that.
Why don't you give me a roll?
20 or a 6?
Oh, a d20, please, and you're rolling
I also
with
got-
disadvantage on that because of your
Okay.
injured hand.
I got all kinds of dice. I got D100s. I got like a D8. I got a D12. But I'll do it with a 20. Okay. That fuck. That's a 3. God damn it.
I think maybe it's time to go upstairs, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know if we're even going to bother with the second roll at this point. Tell you what, you see Fim on the other side of the room gesturing wildly to you. He's worried that Rowdy might be coming back in any second. He's worried that Aaron Kramer may regain consciousness. And, like, let's be real. That lock looks mighty, and we know that there's a key that opens it somewhere in this house.
Fuck.
Can we say you go upstairs? Is that fair? I don't want to lead you, but there's only so many directions to go.
Upstairs.
Oh yeah, I was
wanna go
gonna say I landed at the bottom of the stairs from earlier, but I got spun around so much. I'm so freaking dizzy that I am fucking falling all over the place, and I'm not even up the stairs by the time they get there. I'm like kind of like crawling up them. And it looks like maybe I threw up a little bit on one of the stairs.
Gabo, you're describing like a fundamental disadvantage for your next roll, and you know what? I like it. We'll go with it. You're right. You should have disadvantage for your next roll. Thank you for saying so.
But now I'm crawling because I threw up.
Gabo's on all fours. Fim, you are, not non-koala'd up the stairs behind him, and Yak following in tow, still wearing Aaron Kramer's clothes, which are now horribly distended and stretched from having Fim crammed beneath them as well.
I think you look great, bud.
Let me get rid of Rowdy here. It's safe to say that he's running around upstairs, but he doesn't play into this very moment, so let's get rid of Rowdy.
They say he's still running around upstairs to this day.
So, upstairs, we have 2 rooms that you could clearly see. One of them is labeled the Fun Zone. You could hear
be where Rowdy lives.
You could hear the crack of billiard balls from within. You could hear riotous laughter. You could hear what sounds like very faked riotous laughter of people trying to impress Butch Baggo. And then you see a room with the door flung wide open with a big horny bed inside, and it's definitely Butch's love palace. It from here you could smell. It smells a bit like Wet Wendy. You know that she spent plenty of time in there, and there's like a boggy scent that's just generally coming from that room. And you see something moving around in there, and you don't know what it is. It's just like a shape flickering through the darkness of that room. So you have options. You can try and sneak into the Fun Zone where you're almost positive Butch Baggo is, to see if you can liberate that key from him, or you could head into the Butch bedroom to see what awaits for you there. Maybe nothing good. Maybe something good.
I think we should hide under his bed until the party's over and then steal it while he's sleeping.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. I'm Brian. I'm actually saying that's brilliant. We should do it.
That is a very solid idea.
We already know how to get all 3 of us into the space of one bed perfectly. I also want to I want to add to this. This is just what's going on with Gabo. Is that also I got spun around a lot, but also when I forgot her wet lady.
It's Wendy, you bastard!
When that lady in the water, when she put her arm around me, she got a bunch of water and it went straight into my inner ear. So that's making it even. My equilibrium is destroyed. I can barely move. So yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go hide under the bed, and I'm still crawling.
You're just digging yourself a deeper hole for no reason other than it is fun to do, which I'm good with that.
Why is his house spinning so much? What the heck?
You think for a moment that Butch Baggo can maybe just afford a spinning house? You know, it's like that restaurant that's at the top of the Sky Needle or something, and you're just like,
yeah,
wow.
Amy Billy's right. I got swimmer's ear, but I don't know what that is.
There's no body of water deep enough for us to swim in.
I don't know how to swim. How the heck am I going to know what kind of ears they have?
Carol, there's just the bog, and things don't go well when you go into the bog.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and move your bucket then into Butch's bedroom. So, it is, if water beds existed, Butch Baggo would have several of them. It's a monument to his own sexual conquest, but again, in the single worst possible place that you could live, which is to say there are kind of like crude handmade sexual instruments everywhere of all kinds, really. There appears to be what would maybe be like a real doll, but made out of burlap sacks. And then the bed itself, which is just like every other bed in town, because there's really only one type, and that is disgusting mess of insects and sheets woven together from what probably used to be rat bladders as well.
But this is much nicer than our bed.
It's quite an upgrade.
This place is a palace.
I know. This guy's he's got everything, but he doesn't deserve it.
I do think Finn was kind of moving around the room, just kind of making jokes out of some of the homemade sex toys. Like immediately like grabs the burlap sack real doll and like goes over to Yak with it like,
So it is safe to say that you're being pretty indiscreet as you move into this room,
incredibly.
which is
Kind of planned for stealth, but we're not keeping to it.
entirely as
I'm on the
discreet.
ground. I got my equilibrium.
So it is safe to say then that Fim and Yak immediately catch the attention of Feeth. Feeth, a glassy-eyed child, stares at you from across the room, speaking no words, but staring directly into your soul in a way that freezes you instantly.
Okay.
Who
The
knows?
fact that a child is in this room is a big problem. Big time problem.
Hold on! I'm not saying that Butch put her here. I'm saying that you know Feeth to be an incorrigible youth who runs around town causing all kinds of mischief and havoc and generally being where she shouldn't be. But I will tell you that having Feeth here is definitely going to be a problem if you intend to stay beneath this bed and wait for Butch Baggo to come in and leave you to your devices undetected. So
I can't believe we have to kill this child.
Oh God, we've got to kill this child.
That's the only option I see before us.
Oh,
as you say this, Feeth kind of tilts her head back and walks straight up to you, grabs your hands, and puts them around her neck as to dare you to strangle her.
Jeez.
I'd like to try and talk Feeth into helping us.
Okay?
hey,
My
Feeth.
hands are still around her neck.
She's
You know
squeezing them
we're-
tighter around Fim's neck as you begin talking.
No!
You know we're the local heroes slash jokesters. All of us are a bunch of joking heroes all the time, and we really need a lookout slash manager. And we were looking for you in the party and wanted you to be it. So how do you feel about being on our team, which means you can never tell anyone about anything we do?
She's kind of into it until that last bit. It almost seems like her grip on her own neck with Fim's hands is relaxing until you say that you want her to do something specifically she doesn't want to do. And then she clenches extra hard and her bulging eyes bulge extra hard, going bloodshot.
No.
Fim's beginning to
Guys!
shake, worried about killing this child.
Guys!
Can we bully her into leaving? Can we bully her into crying and leaving and going home?
She's literally strangling herself with my hands.
That does not look good,
back.
buddy.
I will tell
No,
you,
so I don't think she's capable of being bullied.
Feeth's ego seems pretty bulletproof, but I'll give you a shot at it if you want to try. But you might either wind up with a dead kid on your hands, or you might wind up destroying Fim's psyche entirely. Maybe both, actually. I'm not sure that Fim's going to escape without having his entire essence as a person fully destroyed if he accidentally murders a child.
Oh shit.
What
I
kind
don't
of
know,
st- what
Gobble,
kind of
I'm out of
stuff is-
ideas.
What kind of stuff is Feeth into? Do we know that? What kind of things is she interested in?
You know that Feeth's a big-time watcher. She loves to watch anything happen if she knows that she shouldn't be there. That's probably why she's in this room. But I don't know. You've known Feeth to go around town looking for any kind of violence or I guess you would say intimate moments. Mostly into things that people would do behind closed doors. She loves secrets. She loves hidden knowledge. She basically loves finding out what she shouldn't know.
I got an idea. My equilibrium is still bad, but my brain is coming back. So I'm winking a lot at Fim and Yak, and I go, well, guys, we did it. We made it into the bedroom, just like we were specifically asked to come in here just to kind of tidy up. Pretty boring for a party.
Yep. We were
Yeah.
asked to do this job, and now we've done it, just like everyone already knows that we were gonna do.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You see Feith kind of nervously looking around. Let's see. I'm going to have you all roll a d6 for me, and we're going to try something interesting. We all want you to roll within the... Tell you what, actually, let's roll a d10, and if we can all stay within a range of 3 from each other, your lie will be believable, and Feith will believe you all to be lying. So who wants to roll first? Gabo, why don't we have you roll?
Sorry.
That's a 5, Fim?
That's a 5 for Fim.
Okay.
That's a 6.
Okay.
That's also a 6.
Oh my
baby.
God. There's the
Are we good at this?
slightest
We're best
undetectable
friends.
falter within your lie, but Feith believes you, and you see her kind of sink in her temperament and mood. She is no longer
hand's
quite
still
as
around her
lustrous and excited. Yeah, your hands are still around her neck, but they're relaxing. You feel like you could slip them out if you tried.
Yeah. That was a little much there.
Okay, but now she's just looking at you expectantly. Feith wants something from you, and you don't know what it is. It could be anything, really, but at very least an excuse to go do anything else, preferably discover somebody else's secret or ruin somebody else's day. And I think if you make a satisfactory plea to her or bargain with her in some kind of way, you could get her out of this room.
Did someone recently acquire a piece of property that might have some value?
Yeah. Oh, well, look, some of us may have come into some property. I don't know if it would get anyone out of here, but I'm like sweating profusely now. I do have a rat cabbage.
Feith's eyes light up. Oh my God, a rat cabbage? Is it food? Is it drugs? Is it a pet? Who knows? But it's certainly the most exciting thing that's happened to her all day. Gabo, you immediately have her attention with this rat cabbage. So it's up to you to decide what you want to do. Or it's up to Fiminiac to overpower you if you don't want to do it. But yeah, that's to the 3 of you to decide.
Well, it's the most important thing to me is that nobody else at this party knows I have a rat cabbage.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a real shame if anyone, if like the whole downstairs, and then maybe even if like the other people in the town, if it would be terrible if someone went to all their houses and told them that and showed them this rat cabbage.
All right, so you're forgetting something just awful. Not only does Feith not speak, but everyone else in this town is completely illiterate, meaning there's virtually no way for her to reveal that you have this rat cabbage unless she were to show them herself. Feith grabs 2 bizarrely strong little fists around the rat cabbage with the same strength that she was clutching Fim's fists around her neck and is trying to pull it from you, Gabo. I'm giving you the option now. If you want to retain your property, you're going to have to roll an opposed roll with Feith, or you can just let her have it.
I think I just gotta let her have it. It's the only way out of here.
Instantly, Feith is gone, and before it's even humanly possible, you hear a voice from downstairs. Is that a rat cabbage? It's Rowdy losing his mind. Oh my God! You hear him somersault and probably finally hear his heart give out as just like a giant thump as he collides to the ground, and hushed voices followed by bored whispers as everyone realizes there's no such thing as an ambulance to call, and they're just gonna have to wait this out and see what happens.
Rowdy, no!
Rowdy!
So
That could have been me.
I know that was really tough, and that was really big of you to do, to really take one for the team. But they do literally grow everywhere around.
You don't know what this is like at all. I'm ruined.
So is it safe to say that the three of you finally climb under that bed?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. I'm gonna be as silent as a rat cabbage.
All right. So, the three of you, well, because your characters were already here, I guess you try out the bed, Three Little Bear style, and see what the lap of luxury actually feels like. Feels very wet and boggy in the bed, primarily.
Just like home. Oh no!
Before the three of you
Wendy, my love.
crawl under that bed. But then, you begin to wait, kind of all through the evening. You feel night slip deeper and deeper. You hear people drag Rowdy outside, labored breathing. You're not sure if it's the people dragging him or Rowdy desperately, rowdily even, clinging onto the vestiges of life that remain in his
I hope
sturdy
Rowdy
little body.
makes it.
Well, I think we all hope that Rowdy makes it. You hear the pitter patter of feet running around until they finally stop, and then finally you hear nothing. And just as you think that the house is maybe empty, too empty, something else happens. You hear two familiar faces.
Uh-oh.
Crawling into, let me get them up to size here. I didn't actually account for this, but luckily I have the art to make this happen.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Phim has his ears just covered so tight and is sobbing.
I have my mouth over Fim's mouth. I have my hand over Fim's mouth.
You have your mouth over Fim's mouth.
My hand over Fim's mouth to keep him quiet.
You hear Butch say, "Oh, you know I'm a hero," and you hear Wendy say, "I've never been wetter or Wendier," as they disappear beneath the sheets. But that does, in fact, give you a perfect opportunity. Two distracted individuals not wearing any clothes. All those clothes piled up beside you, pockets ready to be rifled through.
You mean to don't get me wrong, we'll take it. You mean to tell me this guy isn't wearing the key while he does it?
Oh my god. Let's say that he was wearing the key and things got a bit too slippery and it flew off of him in the throes of passion.
Of course. Wendy.
So we can imagine that the bucket is beneath this bouncing bed. The key is available to you if you would like it. It's back to you, crew.
I'm gonna sneak out and I'm gonna gesture to Gobbo to put his hand over Fim's mouth to keep him quiet, and I'm gonna sneak out and get the key.
All right.
I'm just gonna drag Fim by the eyes out of the room.
Like a cartoon wolf whose eyes are protruding out of his face. Gobbo has two firm hands around Fim's eyeballs and is just pulling him, kicking and screaming out of the room. Luckily, those kicks and screams are not nearly as loud as the kicks and screams happening from within the bed.
I can hear it in my dreams.
You head downstairs. Do I have is it safe to say that you approach this locked door?
Yeah, for sure, right away. We're
Yes.
gonna get that. I bet that sword's in there, and we're gonna get it.
I don't want to listen for different reasons than Fim, but I also don't want to listen.
Okay. I am going to say that you use the key in the door and you successfully open your way to the Butch Baggo basement.
Whoa.
I still don't have any text written for this bit, so let me describe what you see here, what the picture doesn't already say. It's kind of a monument to Butch Baggo's own essence, basically everything that didn't deserve to be in the Love Palace upstairs or the party room or anywhere else in the house. You see some of his old football attire. You see his weight set. You see what appears to be a nude portrait of Butch Baggo, which would be surprising to you if you hadn't seen him pose, air quotations, just moments ago. So really, this is nothing new to you. And there in front of you, you see the Blade of Baggo.
Whoa, the artist was really generous with his painting.
You begin to think that that Butch might have had some serious say in some of the artistic interpretations that are happening in the lower regions of the painting.
Well, who should it be? Who's gonna get the sword out of that island countertop?
It is just a kitchen countertop that he's clearly like plunged the sword into multiple times to kind of make it a sword in the stone situation, which honestly is probably responsible for most of the bends and breaks in the sword. He maybe didn't get it like that.
I think we should all pull it out.
Together.
This seems
that sounds
familiar.
good.
All right, I'm gonna have the three of you all grab the sword at the same time if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Why don't you all roll? Let's see. What makes sense here? Why don't you all?
Nothing makes sense here.
I'm gonna say like if this would normally be a D20 roll, I'm gonna have you all roll a D6, and we're gonna see what it adds up to. That kind of like -2 to the cap of the roll is due to the just general slipperiness of having slid around in that bed, and that this sword doesn't really have enough comfortable gripping room for 6 hands to be trying to pull at the same time. But what the hell? I love the teamwork.
We're rolling a d6.
Yeah, why don't you all roll a d6 and then let's add them up.
Ready, go. I got a 4.
5.
I got a 1.
Gobbo!
My equilibrium. I'm standing all weird. I think I'm standing normal, but I look like I'm in the Inception hallway. I'm
a little worried you also maybe got concussed when Rowdy threw you.
Impossible.
If there was a doctor in this town, we would take you to them, but there isn't.
It was, in fact, a 17 on the roll that you had to beat, so you're pretty far away from it. Beyond that, you didn't bother to check to make sure that Butch Baggo's most prized possession isn't trapped against intruders such as yourself. And of course, it's tied to a string that is in turn tied to a bunch of little cans that, if you'd taken a closer look around, you might have noticed just run all through the house. It's pretty broke. You could have assumed
did we ruin an intimate moment upstairs?
There are fewer things that could ruin Butch Baggo's favorite thing to do, which is, getting his funky on. But maybe his only other thing that he likes to do more is lop the heads off of 3 no-good nicks who are trying to steal his sword. Before you know it, Butch busts into the room, knocks his way through the 3 of you, and grabs the sword and is ready to go. Here's the thing, is I didn't think to draw him naked because I didn't think we were going to get there, so we have to assume that he is standing fully in the buff and ready to destroy. And he sees the 3 of you, and he's instantly reminded of you slapping that goblet dong down in the Center Town Tavern during your last adventure, and he is fully furious. You think you could just come into town and humiliate me? We'll see who's humiliated when you have neck holes for heads, he says, and begins to swing his sword. Here's what you have at your advantage. Butch Baggo's probably drunker than he's ever been in his life. He's also probably slipperier than he's ever been in his life. You might have a chance against the town's hero if the 3 of you can work together, but it's a fight, and it's happening. I want you to all roll for initiative. Roll a d20.
Whoa!
We're all focusing on the nuts, right?
Yeah, we all look at each other and we have a moment of eye contact and we all nod and be like, we're going for the dick. We all know in our minds.
I really when I started Dungeon Fuckers, I'm just saying now, I didn't really expect it to become so dick-centric, I was like, okay, we'll have a few turd farmer jokes. Dude. We'll have a few turd farmer jokes. It'll be fine. It'll be like a little bit gross. It'll be a little bit bawdy, so to speak. And then here we are, and it's all just beans. That's fine.
I'm
it's
all
hanging out there.
And I love dick.
What did everyone roll?
I rolled a 3.
A 3?
I got an 8.
8. Fim?
15.
15, okay. You're all beneath Butch's 17, so it's going to be Butch, then Fim, then Gabo, then Yak. Is that right?
That sounds right.
Okay. Well, the sword is out, and so is his blade, and he is taking a swing right at the three of you. I'm going to roll here to see who he's coming after first. And this, I'll tell you what, seems a little bit deadlier than that little goblin. You probably all could cut and run, but then you'd be without a sword. And what point do you have in your miserable little lives if you don't have this sword?
This is for Wendy.
You have, let's see, Butch has rolled a 3, which means he's coming after you, Fim. Why don't you roll a d20 in defense for me here?
Great. Nat 20.
Oh, yes.
For Wendy!
That is well beneath.
Fade away, you've already broken my heart.
It's well below Baggo's 9. He takes a swing. What does it look like when it misses?
And so he takes the swing, and Fim like slips on a wet puddle down, and like does manage to like matrix under the swing of the blade.
Oh, it just flies right over your nose and your chin. It kind of trims those few little hairs that you were trying to push together earlier, and kind of in slow motion, you're like, no, knowing that it like means Wendy won't be impressed with your soul patch, which he was probably lying about liking anyway. And the blade momentarily embeds itself right into the let's say generous painting of Butch Baggo, right into the wooden frame. And as he's trying to get it loose, you have a moment to attack. Fim, why don't you defend yourself against Butch? Let's just point this out now. I'm not sure that any of you have it in you to kill a grown man tonight. You might, who knows? But at very least,
We almost killed a child. That seems harder.
To be fair, that child almost killed the child just using you as an intermediate. You almost couldn't kill the child, which is somehow worse.
I think we just want to knock him out and get out of here with this and steal his sword. And he's so drunk he won't remember.
I do think that if you wallop him good enough, you might be able to get it out of his hands and get the frick out of here with the sword cleanly.
Yeah.
So Fim, feel free to attack however you like.
So while he is trying to pull his sword out of the frame that it has sunk into, I want like his back to be turned to me, his legs just spread enough for me to grab like a golf club on the floor and just whoop, boom, right between the legs.
All right, I love it. So you're rolling with advantage now because you do in fact still have him stuck into the painting.
16,
and
maybe.
let's see, Fim, you do have a +1 to brains. That's not necessarily going to help you here, but a +0 to beefiness means you're not rolling at any disadvantage. What have you rolled for me?
I rolled a 16.
A 16. That is a solid hit. I want you to roll a d6.
And we've got 2 nard damage. That's all you need.
One for
Two down
each.
there.
It's square between. Why don't you describe it for me as you make soft but yet hard enough contact on.
Sometimes that's worse. Just aggressive little taps. And I was like, Wendy!
You make a spiteful slap, just tapping him with a golf club. You've never seen a golf club. You have no idea what golf is. Butch really hasn't either, but it looked pretty cool, so it's down here with the rest of his trophies. Let's see, Gabo, it is your attack now. While Butch is still lodged into this painting, you have a moment to do your worst.
I'm going to cast a very powerful spell. Everyone, give me space. You don't really have to give me space. I go, one of the forbidden spells.
Ooh.
The Jaws of the Hellhounds. And I open the spell book and then I snap it closed right on his fucking dangler.
Tony, did you sign up for aggressive ball torture for a boss battle?
You know, I didn't anticipate it. I would have drawn it if I had.
No.
But
I'm
yeah.
gonna flatten those things in the book like they're the rose from a wedding day. Get over here.
Okay, so Gabo, You do have an advantage on this. You are rolling a spell. This is again a strength check. It's +1 to beefiness. So why don't you roll a d20 for me twice? You get +1.
16.
Okay, and that is against. Ooh, amazingly, that's with advantage.
Yeah.
That is against Butch Baggo's 18. So I'm gonna have to say, unfortunately, as the jaws of the Hellhound go to clamp down on his prodigious or not so prodigious protrusion, it kind of sinks back into him, kind of like a turtle receding into its shell, and you clamp down on thin air. So you miss with that, but it is a shame to Butch Baggo to kind of embarrass himself by his I don't know why I keep dancing around it. His dick disappears and he's really embarrassed about it as it kind of recedes into him.
Yeah. I was aiming for
pull dick.
I was aiming for the balls, so maybe it's just a stress reaction.
But all the same, that's going to still pass advantage onto Yak for the Yak attack at this point.
The Yak attack. So can I say that he's distracted from this at least?
Oh yeah, he's thoroughly distracted.
Okay, I'd like to come around and I think using my stealth, I'd like to just choke him out till he passes out with one of the cans that was attached to the wires that
with the can or with the string?
With the string.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't want to garrote him. I just want to choke him out.
Okay, so let's see. All right, you're going to try and choke him out.
I want to make him pass out.
This is, I think, going to be kind of like a dexterity check. Your greasiness is +0 here. I don't know, but you do have your you didn't even see me, idiot, which gives you an extra 1d6. Yeah, roll d20 with advantage for me.
Okay, here we go. 17 and a 10.
That is well above our Butch Baggo's 5. He's too thoroughly distracted. You get this rope thoroughly around his neck, and you begin to pull and hard. Roll a d6 for me.
Okay. That's a 4.
Whew, that's pretty thorough. You feel just like a vein in his eyeball burst as you just yank that cord hard around his neck, and he is refusing to let go of this sword still. But with the other hand, he's just like slapping towards your face until he finally knocks you free. You don't choke him out, but you could tell that did a serious number on his ability to keep it together. And I think that Butch is looking pretty worse for the wear here. But it is his turn again, and he does have the sword free. So he is going to be coming after... Gabo, it's you. Even though Fim and Yak both landed attacks on him, it's your direct attack towards his manhood with that book and the shame he feels from having retreated physically from it. That means he's coming straight back for you. So he pulls the sword, not free of the painting, but with the painting attached, and tries to bring that painting down hard over your head using the sword as a sort of caster, as it will, a sort of spell of his own is to fling this painting directly at your small and stout body. Why don't you roll for me with your dexterity to see if you can dodge this, and we are going to, that's +0, we are going to give you disadvantage on this because, as we described, your equilibrium is thoroughly fucked.
Yeah, disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Okay. Well, that's 7.
I got good news for you. Butch only got a 4. So he tries to throw that painting at you, and instead it kind of like twirls in your direction, but like in this kind of matrixy slickness that's already been presented by Fim,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to see if you can counter the painting back toward him. Why don't
I'm
you?
bobbing around like one of those, inflatable clowns punching bags because my equilibrium all over the place.
Why don't you
Okay.
see if you could do like one of those weird spinning kicks where you kind of go like backwards behind your body and then over your head, like a, what do you call it? Like
Yeah.
a kind of soccer
Bicycle
bicycle
kick?
kick? Yeah, back towards him.
Or it's like a type of messed up like Aikido where I'm accidentally using his force against him, flowing like water.
I'm gonna.
That's 11.
An 11, okay, and he is rolling a. That's a 7, so that's gonna connect. I want you to roll a d6 for me.
Okay. That's a 2.
That's a 2. Describe the painting making a collision with Butch.
He swings at me and the painting dislodges and comes at me like a projectile, and I try to dodge it and I grab it and then I just kind of do a 180 and it just flings back out of my hand right back at him. Like it's like a return to a pass or something. I don't know. There's a good metaphor there. But
You kind of like ultimate frisbee, like catch and return it in a way that collides directly with that gold tooth he has, and I think it
Yeah.
goes spilling all across the floor. And in a ego bolstering moment for all of you, you notice that this tooth is in fact not gold, but it's just like a regular tooth that has been painted yellow on one side to make him look richer than he really is.
None of us have seen gold, huh?
Turns out you thought this is maybe the only actual gold you've seen in your life, and it turns out to be a lie, which is only giving you more strength. Fim, I'm going to give you advantage on this. Butch is looking rough stuff right now, I'll tell you that much.
I'm going koala mode, baby.
Go koala.
I'm running sprint, and I'm just gonna like fully wrap my arms around him and bring him down with me.
What did you roll? I already know what Butch rolled.
We got a 14.
That is a strong showing over Butch Baggo's natural 1. Why don't you describe for me what it looks like as you tackle Baggo? He's close enough to the end. We can roll a d6 for ceremony, but I'm going to tell this is the blow that takes him down.
Great. One moment. It's so what I managed to, I wrap my arms around him, I go swinging a little bit, bring him crashing down to the ground with a plume of dust. And as he's sitting on the, as he's laying on the ground, I'm on top of him. I stand up, and I accidentally, as I'm standing up, I step on his dick, and I rolled a 1, which
I'll tell you, we had him close enough that's doing it. Oh my God. Butch Baggo, maybe for the first time in his life, your life, or anyone's life, opens his beady little horrible eyes wide enough for you to see that he is defeated. Oh my God, just a gasp leaves his body as you slip on his boggy little member, and and he gives out a combination scream and gasp that sounds not entirely unlike Rowdy nearly dying earlier this very night, and the sword leaves his hands, flying up into the air and landing conveniently, for the sake of the art that I have ready, back in the table as Butch collapses to the floor, drunk off his ass, wounded in the mouth, wounded in the balls, wounded in the dick, and wounded also around the neck from when Yak tried to choke him to death.
Just a puffer pass out, not to kill him.
And there it is, the sword ready for taking. What does it look like as the three of you take the sword? And also, I don't know, just for fun, why don't the three of you also describe like one piece of treasure that you find and subsequently liberate from this, your very first dungeon that you've crawled?
we did it.
Yeah. I think we all take our hands on the sword again, and we count to 3, but we're not really good at counting, so it kind of sounds all crazy and disparate. And then we all pull it out together at the same time.
Da 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 da.
I love it. It's beautiful. What do you each take from his dungeon as you hurry out of there before he comes to?
I'd like to go last, if that's okay.
Yes.
I'll take what I think is another magic book, but I just can't read enough to tell that it is an erotic novel with illustrations.
You flip through the book on your way out, assuming all the sexual poses, which are also foreign to you, just as foreign as the words would be, and you assume them to be casting techniques.
Yes, they're the required motions.
It's very exciting to you. Yak, what do you take?
I'd like to take the cooler of holding, because I think there's some smells and shit tonight that's making me think about getting into like poisons and stuff. You know, I'd like to aspire to be a stealthy rogue, and a ranger. So I'm gonna take the cooler of holding and hope that I can keep some like sap cold and make poison with it.
That is pretty sweet. Yeah, it's kind of a rusty bucket that just happens to have a lid, which is kind of the fanciest bucket you've ever seen. Amazing.
This is nice. You guys gotta admit, this is pretty fucking nice.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Pretty good.
And what about you, Fim?
There's only one piece of treasure that I want in this dungeon. Boys, may I borrow this sword for a moment?
Yes.
I take the sword and I head upstairs to.
I thought you were gonna cut his dick off.
I thought that too. Oh my god.
I head upstairs to the bedroom. I push open the door. And I have the sword. I'm like, wet Wendy. Do you want to go out sometime? I have a sword.
What? You have a sword? Why? And she's like fully confused, but also, you can tell that she's completely unwell from having lived in a bog for most of her life. And she could only be so well to be dating Butch Baggo at any point. She says, I don't see why not. What's your name, by the way?
I'm Fim. We had like a whole bunch of classes together in high school. You know, the one that sunk into the bog.
Fim? Fim the what?
Fim the cool guy. Fim the cool hero guy. Fim Fim your boyfriend?
Yes, Fim the cool guy. I'll see you around, Fim the cool guy. Wet Wendy almost seems to kind of like melt into the bed. It's kind of creepy. You don't know where she goes, but you certainly know that you have not seen the last of her.
That was weird, but you know what? I'm not going to let it get to me. Let's get out of here, boys.
Yeah.
The three of you head off into the night, and you feel the weight of the sword in your hands. It's heavy as shit, and honestly, don't take this the wrong way, but it kind of makes you more impressed with Butch Baggo that he could haul that thing around. And as cool as you feel, you could tell from touch that this is kind of a crappy sword. Maybe it's the way the raw metal of the handle instantly lacerates your fingers. Maybe it's the way the blade slides loosely in the hilt like a little boy's feet wearing his daddy's shoes. But you know that this sword belongs to you. And not just because you right properly stole it, and not just because Baggo's a freaking fraud who doesn't deserve it in the first place, and not just because a lady told you in a weird three-way dream that we never fully reckoned with. You know that it belongs to you because it just feels right. It's hope, cast in iron. Maybe there is more to this world. Maybe it just requires you to go out there and take it. Maybe the boys aren't born special. Maybe those special boys make themselves special.
Fuck yeah.
This has been Dungeon Fuckers, everyone. That is the end of Chapter 2, the Blades of Baggo. I want to thank everyone for joining us for another one of these. It was really weird and fun and went directions I fully wasn't expecting. Some pornographic, some violent, some weirder. I didn't have a plan for a lot in the middle, and I didn't expect that we'd be choking a child in a sex dungeon, but it happened. And thanks all for bearing witness to that. Thank you to Gabo, to Fim, and to Yak. That's Eli, Brian, and Carolyn. You could find them all online. Do you want to say where?
You can find me on the Twitter at Eliudin, ELIYUDIN, or you can listen to a podcast called What a Time to Be Alive that comes out once a week. That's good, I think.
Brian, you still streaming?
Yeah, I'm Goblin Voice on Twitch. I got a podcast called Brian and Eric Don't Belong Here, and I have a Smallville podcast called The Talon Mix, and both are fun.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that guy, Eric. He's great.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
We went ghost hunting, and that episode is available now.
Oh,
I love it. Oh, my God. Take me with you sometime.
Happily. Anytime.
And Carolyn, where can we find you?
you can find me.
I'm going to stop doing that voice because that hurts. You can find me streaming on Twitch at Jacuzzi Tubs with 2 B's. I'm streaming tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, 2 to 4 Pacific. And, you can catch me on Wednesdays starting next month at 7 p.m. Pacific on the U-Jokes YouTube channel doing the new season of my competitive Fuck, Marry, Kill game show, Fuck, Marry, Kill Champions.
Ooh.
I love it. I love to hear it. All right, everyone.
When are we doing an all VTuber?
When are you having Gabo, Fim, and Yak on as characters? And Carolyn, you'll have to be both host and contestant.
Next month, we're doing it.
I want to thank everyone again for watching. Hopefully, we'll do another one of these soon. We'll see you when we see you next. I don't know that we have another TV&D stream planned in the immediate, but you will be the first to know if you join our Discord. And otherwise, just hit that follow button, and you'll find out whenever we're live on Twitch. You could also check this out on our YouTube page. And thank you if you're watching in the future on YouTube in the recorded version. This has been a ton of fun, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.